I actually have a replica of the Titanic. The back half is missing because it broke off into the ocean, of course. This looks like a way bigger exhibit than what I went to Las Vegas. Yeah, this looks really cool. They say that all of these Titanic exhibits are haunted because they all have original relics that were found beneath the ocean. If you didn't know, a lot of these relics did not exist until after, I think it was 1984, when somebody was hired by the Navy. He helped the Navy find some stuff in exchange for using naval equipment to help locate the Titanic, and that's how they were able to find the Titanic. And I think it was 1984, and it took them a couple of years to coordinate being able to go down, because it's like a 2-mile into the ocean hike. Like, you can't just go scuba diving and go down and touch the Titanic. It does not work like that. A lot of these relics that we're getting ready to look at right now are very hard to come by. That's why they're so special. One thing I did not do the last time I went to the Titanic exhibit, I mean, I did do it, but it's a long story. I tried doing a spirit box session. A lot of you were mad that in my last video on my vlog channel, I wasn't able to include that footage. And the part of the reason why is I screen recorded on my phone the footage and then I lost it. I ended up deleting it by accident, so I didn't include that footage. I think Tiffany has, you have the app, right?
We're gonna do a spirit box session in there.
Yeah. I mean, look at this place. This is like the actual Titanic. I can't wait to go in here and check it out. Let's do this.
So these two little boys, they were granted temporary custody to their dad. They went on the ship on a Titanic ride, and the ship went down. He just handed his two little boys over to these strangers because he couldn't get on the boat. It's only women and children allowed on the boats.
Oh, you mean when it
was going down?
Oh, I got you. Okay.
So he just handed the babies off to these strangers and told them, please give my love to their mother. Well, they didn't know who these kids belonged to. They literally had no idea because the mom wasn't on the ship. So they didn't give no name, no nothing.
Wow.
So over time, they started piecing the puzzles back together, and the mom was only 18 years old, and she was able to be reunited with her boys over time.
Okay, I have to say,
what?
This is way cooler, in my opinion.
Than the one in Vegas?
Yes, I mean, it's exactly the same, but you can't walk upstairs.
Oh, you can only just take a picture on
You could only, actually, they won't even allow you to take pictures because they have a photographer.
Oh, they have a professional picture person.
Yeah, I mean, I got permission to, but like you can actually stand here and take some photos. But this is the grand staircase, the iconic one, and it was taken exactly from the blueprints.
When this was like first created, this flooring was the most expensive part of the ship, I think she said.
Yeah, and I mean, not to mention, like, this is gold.
Yeah, this is
24 karat
gold. And the floors back then was not granite, it was not marble. It was this new flooring called linoleum.
Linoleum, yeah, exactly what it is now.
It was the most expensive part. Apparently linoleum back then was way more expensive than granite or marble.
Wow. Oh, what is this?
This is the actual wedding ring. It's valued over $100,000.
What?
In the Strauss Historical Society. It was a true love story, both from German Jewish immigrants who arrived as children in America in the early 1850s. Macy's department stores.
Wow. So this is what the first class rooms would look like. Oh, wow. It looks so creepy. Oh my God. It scared me.
Oh, wait. I thought this was...
It's like a hallway. Yeah.
I really thought that was a hallway. Wow, that mirror's really clean.
Yo. Whoa. It is creepy. Whoa, check this out. Oh, wow. This is way cooler than the one in, 100%. There's a lot more to see in this museum.
It takes you outside.
All right,
to a
let's go.
starlit sky.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. So with that floating chair though, all right, the whole floating chair thing, it's a ghost.
Oh, it's freezing out here. Oh no. Is that you, Mr. Deck Chair?
That's pretty cool.
What are you?
It is deck chair.
All right, what's the story behind the chair?
So when the Titanic hit the iceberg, a passenger fell from below, and his name was Mr. Deck Chair.
Oh, so they put the chair there in his honor.
He's a deck chair.
Dude, look, it keeps spinning.
Maintain the speed and
You didn't see anybody in there? Oh, that's weird.
Well, I was gonna say it could be because we're on a ship, but
We're not on a ship.
But then my blonde ass realized.
Tiffany has a story for us.
Well, it's not a story. Okay, I sadly love reading things about like the Holocaust and concentration camps and stuff, and hearing about the history of it. So one day we were talking, and hey babe, see this name right here? It says Anne Frank.
Oh yeah, I know who Anne Frank is.
Do you though?
I do.
He didn't.
Yes, I did.
You're a liar. He also thought Helen Keller was a mythical person.
I did not. Helen Keller is totally real.
After I had to explain that she was. So this was their house, and this is the little place that they hid. It was behind a bookcase, and it was this little tiny.
Okay, what is this all about here? Tap to dive. Whoa. Oh, this is cool. Wait, what? Dang, that's cool. Continue to explore. Oh, nice. What's this one do? Whoa. These guys worked in the engine room?
Yeah, and they traveled alone. They didn't have anybody traveling with them.
Oh. They look like little kids.
They are kids. They're 15 and 14.
White Star Line. They're the ones that created the Titanic. Flag is worth $77,000.
That's insane.
What the heck?
Look at all these kids.
Oh, there's a lot of kids.
7 months old. Oh my god.
And one thing that is really cool is they have a lot of these Titanic artifacts, values next to them, which is pretty awesome. So you found your girl?
That's her.
Wow, so she was Jewish.
Yeah.
Did she survive?
She did, but she doesn't know because when she was traveling with her 23-year-old son, and he was in the cigar room after dinner when the iceberg hit, and he went and told his mom, who was in her room. So since the boats were giving mothers and children on the boats for women and children, she was able to get on. So I don't know if her son made it until we get to the end.
This is my guy, George Wright, and you get to kind of hold on to one of these people. Like, they actually make you feel like you're a passenger yourself. This is your boarding pass. Oh wow, you could experience what this was like as it sank. 1:50 a.m. on Monday. This is how the ship would have been as it was sinking. Yeah, see that? And then a few minutes later at 2:05, it was 30 degrees, according to that.
Go to this one.
Oh my, what a difference. What a difference. That's only 30 degrees. Like, wait till you see this one. Oh my God. What the heck? Oh, we're going down. 100%. Okay, there's some armpit juice up there. I'm not recording it.
Yes, you are.
This one isn't so bad.
Right.
Then go to the next one.
I need my tennis shoes on. Oh yeah. It doesn't help that they oil the floors.
Wait till you go to the next one.
My shoes are so slippery too. People didn't have a choice but to try to climb that in order to survive.
I know, right?
My shoes would have been off.
Pretty cool. This is what an actual lifeboat. Please board lifeboat number 6. Dude, the lifeboat is pretty big. It's a pretty big lifeboat. It's like all made out of wood.
You can stay in the cold water.
Oh, so they
There's
have
a
an
thing
area?
over here. Right here, you put your hand in it.
We should check
And you time
it
it.
out.
You wanna try it?
Test how long you can keep your finger in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go for
ready?
it. Yep.
Ooh, it's kind of cold.
Oh my God, that is so cold. What?
I have all 5 of my fingers in there. Oh my God, it's freezing. Oh, God, I wouldn't have been able to do it.
Oh my
Put more
God.
fingers in there.
Oh, hell no. This finger's numb.
We lasted like
what, 30 seconds?
Go back to 30 seconds.
So if the human body falls below 95 degrees or 35 degrees Celsius, hypothermia sets in. Wow.
It's so weird.
This is probably, in my opinion, I don't know, the most, I wouldn't say creepy, but the saddest room.
It is because of Sue's all these people in the phone.
Let's find my guy here. George Wright. First class passengers perished. Oh, there he is right there. My guy died. Rest in peace. Here's the connection to Anne Frank in the Titanic.
So her father, Otto, was best friends with the Titanic first class passengers. And then, which is the people who built the Macy's, the very first Macy's.
Oh, okay.
Remember?
There was something in the beginning.
Right. He writes his best friend, thanking him for trying to save his family. This was their, okay, so this is where they were hiding. This is literally how they lived for 2 years.
Oh, look at this. This is freaky.
That's Anne Frank.
Oh, look, it's like she's looking at us. She's looking at you.
I love her.
She's
See?
looking at you. Hey.
She's looking at me like, get your man.
Wait, she couldn't see, right?
Yes, she could see, babe.
Oh, I'm thinking of Helen Keller.
Oh, my,
I'm
see?
sorry.
Told you he didn't know.
Helen Keller, I had them mixed up.
I don't know what they teach you in Florida schools.
Okay, whatever. Did you find out about your lady?
Yeah, she survived. Her
She
and her
survived?
son.
Oh, they both survived?
Yep.
Okay. On the survivors, let's just randomly go to one right here. Mary Halverson. Husband perished, married, widowed, poor thing. Boarded Titanic at the age of 35. She passed away so young. Oh my gosh. It was terrible. Rest in peace. Tiffany's lady and her son died from heart failure.
Exposure from the icy cold weather affected her hearing in later years. She lived in New York. She was from Manhattan, and she died from heart disease at 69. He passed away at 61.
Test your knowledge. Who was the only spiritual hero to survive Titanic? Just taking a wild guess. And I got it right. No clickbait. Okay, I have no idea who any of these people are, by the way. May they all rest in peace if they passed away. Sorry. Isn't it so weird actually seeing faces of, you know, people on the Titanic? I mean,
This crew member, they don't know when he died. He was 26. He survived on the Titanic. Went back on the sea during World War I, and his ship sank.
oh my gosh. Somebody that survived the Titanic
And then
actually died at sea.
at World War I.
By the way, there are a few people with us, so if you hear somebody in the background, it's not a ghost, okay? But we are thinking about doing a spirit box, maybe here in this room, maybe, I mean, there's a lot of stories of real life people here and in the other room. I don't know any of the haunted history here. I just wanted to kind of feel it out for myself. I did catch that wheel. There was a wheel moving, and Tiffany seems to think that it's like electronic, right?
Yeah. Like, what if it's like on a timer?
Right, and it
And it just
moves
turns.
randomly? Okay.
That's mine.
There were a lot of third class passengers. Look at that. Way more than second and first class. Look how many third class passengers died though. You know what really stinks? Look at all the people that died that were part of the crew. I think there was a good even amount.
It was probably because a lot of them were down in the boiler room.
Maybe.
A lot of the crew were.
Oh, where the water came in. Yeah.
Because remember those doors shut.
Oh, look, that's an artifact. Okay, so you know what the biggest difference for me? Like, I love what they have in here. It's a lot bigger. There's a lot more to see, a lot more history. However, there's probably more artifacts in the Titanic exhibit in Las Vegas. Actual artifacts that came from the Titanic. There are some here, but not a lot. A lot more history here, a lot more visuals. I personally still like this one a little bit more. Haven't been to the one in Tennessee yet, but I think if we're gonna do a spare box, we should do it here. It's empty. There's a lot of sadness in this room, a lot of heaviness, probably a lot of spirit activity. What do you say?
You got really dark.
It got dark? Probably because of the light. I'll turn it down, I promise. Okay, what should we ask? Are there any spirits in this room with us?
I heard Tig like 3 times.
What's your name? Paul? Is Anne Frank here? You were looking at me.
She's looking at us like, what are y'all doing?
Are there any spirits here that were talking to me the first time at the other exhibit?
What was that?
I don't know.
If somebody comes in here, turn that off.
Okay.
It literally looks like a face. Is it? Can you? Like right there, it looks like there's a face in the.
Is it haunted here? Let's go somewhere else. The recovery ship Minia found numerous sections of wreckage. So this is from the wreckage. Now, I didn't know this. Babe, did you know that there was another ship that looked just like the Titanic called the Olympic?
Didn't the name Paul come through in the spirit box?
That's what I heard, yeah.
Look.
Paul? Ooh. Supposedly the Olympic was destroyed, but there's some controversy surrounding like the Titanic and the Olympic. Sorry, there's some kids like right there. This is what the engines would have looked like in the Titanic. That was probably the first thing to go underwater.
$80,000.
The poster?
Just this poster right here.
What the heck?
This one's valued at $8,000, and that one's valued at.
Why don't they just copy this and like put this in a museum? Well,
it is in a museum.
It is a museum. And it is in a locked glass case. But yeah, there is some controversy surrounding the Olympic. People say that that's what actually went down in the water, and it's what is supposed to be the Titanic. And the Titanic was somewhere else. I don't know the truth behind that, but there's always controversy behind everything. But yeah, there was an identical ship called the Olympic, made by White Star. For evil to flourish, it only requires good men to do nothing.
That is deep.
That is. How far under the water is the wreck? I'm gonna have to guess that. Oh yeah, 12. I'm not sure what that is in mileage, but I thought it was 2 miles, but it's actually 2 miles of wreckage. So when you're scuba diving, you could only go down up to 1,000 feet. One of these guys, I mean, it's just giving you an idea of how deep the Titanic is under the ocean floor.
So a submarine could go there.
350 feet.
That can go there. Ooh, these guys. That's the guy, that thing that with the blade on its face that chased Nemo. Empire State Building could go under there.
Just to here, actually.
Yeah.
2 miles. Okay, so I was right. 2 miles is 10,000 feet. And then just to give you an idea, that's how deep. Oh my God, like we ain't going down there. And some often ask, why can't you just bring up the Titanic from the ocean? Well, the thing is it's been rotting away for so long that if they did bring it up, it would just completely deteriorate. They're saying that within 10 years or so, it's gonna completely just vanish under the water. That's how badly, I mean, it's been what, over 100 years? Cool if they could do an underwater preservation, maybe with some technology in the future. Let's pick a name. What do you think?
No, let's not pick a name at all. Let's see if it says a name.
It is really weird that over there you found the name Paul. Is Paul here with us?
They could not do it themselves.
I want a whole name.
A whole name?
A whole name, first and last.
I did turn this down a little bit, but I'm screen recording it. Turn it down a little bit. I heard Dad. I heard Dad.
You sound like a kid.
Yeah, a little kid came through. Died. Did you hear that?
I want a name.
Some names probably did come through though. Is there any names that can come up here? People coming? Okay. Alright. I said be quiet.
It sounded like it said be quiet.
I said be quiet? So we are in the Grand Ballroom. I figured if...
This is where we are.
The Grand Staircase is what they call it. I figured if there's any spirit activity, this is probably one of the iconic areas that the spirits are probably drawn to. Are there any spirits here at the Grand Staircase?
Are you screen recording?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I'm screen recording. See?
Okay.
What's your name? Do you like to roam these hallways at nighttime? Try not to disturb other guests here. We're kind of like in our own bubble.
Because we look like computers.
Is the Grand Staircase haunted? I will say this, super cool that you can actually walk up on the second floor of the Grand Staircase. Like the Grand Staircase is being used. In the Titanic Museum in Las Vegas, you can't walk up on the second floor. It's like paper thin. But some of the workers shared with me that if you walk up there, like you could fall through, and then sometimes they'll hear footsteps, like if they're coming from up there and then there's nobody up there. That's why I felt it was very imperative to try to do a spirit box communication here, because according to the Titanic in Las Vegas, the Titanic exhibit, there's some spirits that love going on that second floor and they hear them all the time. What's the story here? Do they hear footsteps in the middle of the night? You know, or even when there's just workers here cleaning up? I don't know, I would love to know, but I don't know. Let me know here in the comments what you think of the Titanic exhibits that you visited. This is probably so far, I've only been to 2 different ones. They're both great, they're both different, but this one, I don't know, has to be my personal favorite because of this. And outside. Did you not see outside?
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's so cool. I mean, the fact that you could interact with something that is identical to the Titanic. A page ripped out of their architectural blueprints. I mean, this is so cool. This was designed exactly identical to the T, along with the linoleum that you see on the ground. This is exactly what it looked like. How cool. Probably wasn't made with the same exact tools, because tools have improved. However, it's still the same material. This is great. Want to do another walkthrough?
Yeah.
Let's walk again. Okay, that's the lady that told us about the linoleum. She's pretty cool. Actual skylight. Like that was, you know, at nighttime that would be dark, and only the chandelier would be lit in the real Titanic. I'm not sure if that is, well, I mean, it's nighttime now, right? Dude, wait, this was real? They kept it playing up to the very end. Only the engulfing ocean had the power to drown them in silence, just like in the movie. I walked right by these guys, I didn't even realize it. It's the musicians. Whoa, that's a photograph of the Lifeboat, Lifeboat number 1. Decided to do a second walkthrough through the exhibit, and you know what? I changed my mind. This one's not my favorite anymore. They're both my favorite. Reason being is I completely forgot that there was something that the Las Vegas Titanic Museum had that this one doesn't have, and that's a ginormous piece of the side of the ship that was brought up in the 1990s. It's massive, and they preserved it, and it's there. And they don't have anything like that. Huh?
What?
Nothing.
Revealed the first of the ship's many secrets.
It's one of the robots that went down below.
She hadn't slid easily into the sea.
Yeah, but it was a piece of the side of the ship.
That the ship broke
That's
apart.
one thing that I
She was
love.
discovered in 2 massive pieces, almost 2,000 feet apart.
Look at that. The youngest and last.
So she was the youngest on the ship, and she was the last known survivor of the Titanic.
So you're only going to see
Sydney.
1,800 foot off.
No?
Nope.
Eliza?
Last name Dean.
Oh.
She was 9 weeks old on the Titanic and died May 31st, 2009.
Oh. Wait, she lived a long life.
2009. She was only 9 weeks old
Whoa.
on the Titanic.
Wait, how old was she in 2009? That's, oh my gosh, she was like in her 90s, or maybe 100 years old.
1912.
1912. Wait. Titanic warned. Bro, this is an original newspaper.
How insane is that?
What the heck? How did I walk right past this and didn't even realize?
Because you were talking about that poster over there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And what was that poster worth again? Like $80,000.
She was 97 when she died.
97. Okay. Now, one of the employees in the other Titanic, Las Vegas, he said that it was like a pair of spectacles, well, glasses, if you will, and they would like move around inside the case. And so I think one time they even saw some fingerprints after they cleaned. Like there was nobody. It was one of the employees. You didn't see that? The little baby shoes.
Yeah, with the little picture of the baby that they belong to.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. Oh, it belonged to that baby?
Yeah.
We're that couple today, huh?
We're that couple.
We're that couple?
Yeah.
That's right, yep.
I have to be over here.
Yeah, you gotta be over here. All right.
He's
You wanna,
Jack and I'm a
you wanna
Rose.
screenshot that?
Or his Rose.
I don't know so much of the haunted history here at the Titanic, the world's largest Titanic museum in Branson, Missouri, well, in all the world. That's what it says there, world's largest museum attraction. I think every Titanic museum is different and unique in its own way. When I was walking around, there were some things that I did love, and this was my favorite, but as I started kind of remembering the Titanic exhibit in Las Vegas, of course I shared with you, there's some things that I really love. I really want to take Tiff there to the Titanic exhibit in Las Vegas, as well as the one in Orlando, Florida, and the one in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. They're probably all different in their own way. There's, of course, the Grand Staircase here, which they do have in Las Vegas. If you are in Las Vegas, be sure to check out. It is at the Luxor Hotel, which is also haunted. I would love to come back here with all the lights one day and do like a legit overnight investigation. I think that would be pretty lit. There weren't a whole lot of people here. Come during the week if you want to visit one of these places. I got some Titanic lifesavers too. I'm sure they taste like the Titanic.
I'm sure they're gonna taste really old.
You think they were actually found underwater? Hey, big shout out to Tiffany for joining me on this adventure. Did you like it?
I loved it.
And I hope you did too. If you did, smash that like button. Gotta go for now before you leave. Give me a kiss. Mwah.